See, power is a choice. You get to choose where your energy goes. You get to choose what matters. So time management is not a planner, guys. So let's get started, shall we? All right. So we're going to start talking about time management, and we're going to do this for quite a few weeks, I think. We're just going to do little bit by little bit by little bit. But I want to start off big. You know me, I'm go big or go home, right? So I just want to shoot this out to you guys real quick, have you collab and start making some decisions right off the bat. Let's just get you activated. Let's get you shifting immediately. For me, this time management thing, that's something that's been, the word ambiguous comes to mind. It's like everybody's got a tool or everybody's got a thing, and there's so many options out there to do this. And it wasn't until I realized that time management is a mindset, not a tool. That's what changed everything for me. And it's a way I think about time that is completely transformed, especially even recently. I've made some upgrades. There's always another level, right? And so here's the thing. We need to stop on the time management thing. It's not about managing your time. It's about mastering your focus and your meaning. Like, seriously, let's cut through the baloney, shall we? You have totally been sold a lie. I mean, think about it. It's the lie of time management. If managing time actually worked, you would not feel like you're always behind. You would not feel like your to-do list is multiplying overnight like rabbits. Like, that's not how it works, right? The thing is you don't manage time. You can only really manage you. You manage you, your focus, your energy, and your meaning. It's so interesting because we'll let time go by on the stupidest things, and I can prove it to you. If you get on your phone right now and look how much time you're spending per day on your phone, I bet each one of you could get 4 or 5 hours a day back just by stopping your scrolling. Seriously. Listen, Tony Robbins, he says time is emotion. And I think that's really interesting to really consider. And I think I know what he means by this. If you spend 1 hour in the dentist chair, it might feel like an absolute lifetime. But an hour hiking your favorite trail, breathing deep, laughing with a friend, it's gone like that, isn't it? You know, the coffee date with the BFF, you know, all of a sudden it's like, what happened to, I've had days where I'm up on the mountainside, and there's this one place called Indian Springs. I love to sit there. And I think it's been about 10 minutes and it's been like 4 hours. No joke, it's totally happened. Okay. But then there's these times where you're doing something out of obligation, or your should list, or your mom guilt list, or dad guilt list. You know, those things are happening. Man, it's like, it takes like hours to get through 10 minutes is what it feels like. That's really the thing. So here's a picture for you. It's a good hiking picture because you know I love hiking. 2 hikers on the same mountain. Very same mountain going through the same experience. One keeps their eyes locked on every single rock, every root, every slippery patch. For me, this reminds me of when I'm on a talus boulder field and I have to look at every single step and get into the nitty gritty and make sure, because I know one wrong step could mean a helicopter ride that I do not want, right? And so that's one place where I get exhausted before I've even gone half a mile. You can ask my husband. He's like, I'll be like, are we there yet? Like, how much more of this do we have? The other hiker, they keep their eyes on the summit, fueled by vision of what's ahead. Same trail, totally different experience. That's what focus does. Focus is power. Where focus goes, your energy flows, right? This is where most of us get trapped. We live our lives from the outside in. It's like we've got this should list. We're reacting to everybody else's demands. I mean, emails, texts, work tasks, endless shoulds. Did I mention mom guilt? That's not life. It's just survival, right? It's like I call it, and I've got a little bit of it going on. This is really, I call it sticky note hell. And this happens, it's like there's mass sticky notes all over the place because I've got my to-do list and I've got to try to get everything done on my to-do list. It used to be, oh, my husband, he used to have, I swear there were more sticky notes than there was desk. It was absolutely just off the charts insane. That's where most people get trapped. We live our lives from, and I've done it, man. I always said, my emails are my to-do list. And think about that. Okay. See, I don't like the red dot that says like one unread. And so I know I'll actually do it if it's in my email. And that's great and everything, but it's purposeless. I'm living my life just shitting all over myself. That's survival for you guys. But see, at Arrow's Edge, we're going to flip the script today. See, power is a choice. You get to choose where your energy goes. You get to choose what matters. So time management is not a planner, guys. And we have a planner for you, by the way. But it's not a planner that's going to fix everything. It is a mindset. Follow with me here. Time management is not a tool. It's a mindset. So if you ask 3 questions in a very specific order, it will literally change how you experience your time. And you've heard this from me before, and it's because it seeps into absolutely everything we do. If you nail this one thing right now, these 3 questions, you'll realize, oh man, this isn't just about time. It goes after all your outcomes, and it's like an octopus with a bunch of arms, and it touches a lot of things. So here's the questions you got to ask yourself. Make sure you write these down. So important. Number 1, what do I really want? And what I mean by that is we've got to get past this list of to-dos, list of shoulds, 50 things on your must-do list, and go to what is the desired outcome. For me, that's how I've had to shift my mind is like, at Arrow's Edge, you can ask Eunice and Amber up there. There's like so many things that are piled on of what we need to do. It's crazy. It's crazy amount of stuff. But what I do is at the beginning of the week, I go, okay, what is the outcome I'm looking for? What do I need this picture to look like by the end of this week? What do I really want? What's the result I'm after? Now, that's your summit view. That's what you look up and go, okay, I need to get, okay, here's where I am now. The you are here sign on the map, the red blob thing. What do you call that? It's a red thing. Anyways, it says you are here. And then you're looking up and you're looking at the trail map and you're going, that's my summit. You got to get really clear on what you want that to look like. And what's like, and I mean clarity down to the little iota, just the little things of exactly what you want. Not vague, like, oh, I just want to reach the summit. Okay, how are you going to get there? Well, you really don't have a designated path. Kind of like in golfing, I'm thinking of right now is I know there's a hole out there and I want to get it with as least strokes as possible, but I can't actually see the hole. And how do I even know where to aim? To get really clear at what do you really want? Then number 2 is why do you want it? I know we hear, gurus and experts, they talk about this all the time. You got to get in touch with your why because when it gets hard, you got to be able to go back to your why. But it is so much more than that. Because what is your purpose? To me, is just like looking at a business or a ministry. You get a vision. And when you have a vision statement and a mission statement, then you look through that as your lens to be able to make decisions. So what is the outcome you want? Well, why do you really want that? Why is that important to you? Because I'll tell you something. When you're taking a look at why is that important to me, a lot of times you'll find out, actually, it's not that important to me. And you'll be surprised when you've got this is the outcome I want. how many things won't really get you there and they're just distractions. And then number 3, it's what must I do right now? What is the very first step? That's your trail marker. That's I'm going to take a moment. I'm going to say, what is that first little step towards my desired outcome that I'm going to take today? I've walked clients through this over and over again. This is something my husband is really helpful, is at night before bed, you take a simple, it can be your journal or whatever, but a 3x5 note card. And I'll do a brain dump. And I'm telling you, this will help you sleep at night. So especially, there's a couple on screen. I know this will really help you sleep at night. If you do that and you get it off of your mind and it's out of your head, because you know what your brain's thinking, oh, if it's not written down anymore, I will remember, but I've got to cycle on that thing to make sure that it doesn't get missed. And that can really mess you up. So notice the order. Most people start with number 3. Let's just do a big list of steps. We wake up every day just asking, okay, what do I need to do today? And that's why we get to the end of the day and we're exhausted. We got a pile of, little poll, everybody. How many of you have worked your ever-loving butt off and got nothing done? Like, have you ever had one of those days? It's like, I got all these check boxes by these things, but I have no actual outcome from it. Oh, that's annoying. I've had a couple of those actually recently, and I'm like, oh yeah, I didn't really go through this process, did I? When you go through this process, you won't have that. You're going to be able to look at, what do I need to do and how do I need to do it? So when you start with 1 and 2, your entire nervous system can change. It's purpose comes before, reasons come before the task list. You're no longer reacting, you're actually leading and leading your own life. You're actually climbing towards something that's going to actually matter for you. Here's my promise to you, and I really mean this, because honestly, it's changed. I remember, I think it's like 3 years ago, I'm like, I have got to get in touch with somebody who knows time management. I felt like I was just all over the place. And this has centered me and grounded me. And even more as I learned to begin to master it. If you will start asking these 3 questions every day, what do I want? Why do I want it? And what is the first step I need to do to get there? You will start feeling like you're actually holding the map. You'll find the treasure a lot quicker. But one caveat to that is you've got to be clear. Clarity is power. And so that's not just like, I'll give you a good one. What do I want today? I want a good relationship with God. What? That's not clear. And how will you know if you do a goal like that, how will you know you've actually reached that goal? A lot of us set such ambiguous or unclear goals that you don't even know that you hit the bullseye. You don't even know that you got a hole in one because you've never actually gotten clear about where the hole is and what winning actually looks like. So we have to know exactly what we want with clarity, not vague. That's why when you coach with me in the Peak Trail, we have those goals. And then we have to know exactly why you want it. And it's not questioning your character, integrity, anything. There has to be a real reason, because reasons have to come first. When you have a reason for your goal, your actual subconscious will begin to go towards that. When you get really focused on your desired outcome, you'll actually walk towards that outcome without you even trying. And let me demonstrate this for a moment. I rode the Peak Trail back in, I think it was 2019. No, it's 2020. I rode that and then I did it. I worked through the Peak Trail. I did my own Peak Trail. And so I had 8 different areas of life where I had 3 goals each, and then I had 1 desired focus for the year. And then I put it away and I never looked at it again. And then I got back to December of that year and I pulled it out. And guess what? I accidentally completed every single one of my goals. It was not from reviewing them and obsessing them. It's because I actually set a desired focus on them, and I got clear about what I wanted. That's what the Peak Trail does. It gets very clear about who am I in every area of my life, and what do I actually want in this area of my life. And you'll get crystal clear, and you'll be at the top of the mountain. And like Mufasa is talking to Simba and the Lion King, and they'll be like, "Look, as far as the light touches, all of this is yours." And what I mean by that is you'll know exactly where you're going, what trail you're hiking, and how to get there. And then even if, and I don't really suggest this, but even if you put it away, it's crazy. You've now set your reticular activating system to actually do that thing. I challenge you on it because I've done this more than once just to test. Because I'm like, okay, well, what happens next year? I'll do my peak trail. I'll walk through my process. I'll get clarity on my desired outcome. I'll pick one focus that'll touch every other place of my life. And magically, it actually gets done. It's really amazing how your brain and your subconscious will lead you towards an outcome if you have clarity and if you actually have a good why. And one thing about having a good why that's really interesting to me is that your why will pull you instead of having to be warrior king or warrior queen, right? And you're like, I'm going to push up this mountain. I'm going to keep going. I'm going to just hustle and I'll be a workaholic and I'll just kill this thing. I'll crush this thing. Instead, all of a sudden this thing starts to pull you because you're in touch with why you want it. And what's really cool is your subconscious begins to, when you really are solid about what you want and why you want it, your subconscious will start getting really resourceful to actually make it happen. You would be amazed at how creative you truly can be because we are creative beings. We just are creative beings. So we're going to do a group activation. I want you to grab a sheet of paper, a sheet of paper. I'm going to grab my English language. And I want you to take, I'm going to I'm going to give you a minute right here. I want you to grab a sheet of paper and I want you to do, it's called a capture list. You know, some people call this like rocks and pebbles and stones and stuff like that. I don't know about you, but when I'm thinking about putting rocks in my jar, that feels really heavy and not so fun. And so I'm thinking about why don't we put the big dreams and the big beautiful things in there first, right? So grab a sheet of paper and we'll just do a mental dump and get everything out of your brain like right now. Don't just edit, just start writing it. Okay? I know you might not get it complete in the amount of time we have right now. I really suggest you really get this done. But let's give you guys a minute right now.
Should it be an actual piece of paper? Or can I use my iPad?
Oh, iPad's fine.
It's fine. Okay. I didn't know if you're going to rip it up or something.
Yeah, I actually have it's called a remarkable, and I hate paper at this point, but this is what I do. It's really helpful.
What are we dumping?
Brain dump all your task list, all your to-dos,
Oh.
everything that's on your mind, your mental labor list. All right. I know this wasn't a lot of time, but hey, we got to start on it, didn't we? My list is long, long. And I bet most of yours are too. Okay. So the next step right now, and remember, this is just part of this. So we're going to develop this over the next few weeks. But this is just the beginning, right? I want you to just circle one outcome that matters to you this week. So what is the outcome you want? And a lot of your task list might be related to a desired outcome if you look at it. So you can even reverse engineer, I found, is I'll look at my task list and oh, my little brain here, when I do the mental dump, the capture list, I'll go, oh, there's a theme here. I must want this outcome. And then I can start to really visualize what getting that outcome would look like. How will it affect my life? How would that change how I show up? Asking those questions. So let's get clear on our outcome. What matters most to you this week? For me, last week's was on the personal side. I was like, because both my daughters are going through so much transition right now, I'm like, I am committed to making sure that I've fully shown up with my listening ears and spent some time, which is so funny because like I can be that person that I'm like, oh no, there is not sitting around happening. We are getting stuff done. I am that person. Shoot, I just hit a button. Can you all still hear me? Okay, good. All right. All right. Then once you've discovered your desired outcome this week, I want you to write your why. And now when we talk about what why is, we can get really vague and just not very clear on that too. So your why has to really, I talk about it this way. We have to get down to our deepest why. So you can ask yourself the question why, and you write down that why. And then you look at what you wrote down and you ask yourself a why attached to that. And then you get something else wrote down and then you ask why. You will be amazed to find out what's actually driving you and what actually is the thing that's, because remember, behavior is literally never the issue. It's not. Behavior is not the issue. Looking at behavior will never get you to your desired outcome. It's actually looking at the thing behind the thing. The what is driving that behavior. Is there a need not getting met? Is there a belief? Is there a mismanagement of emotions? Something's going on that's attached to that behavior that you're not wanting. And there's consequences to every decision you make. And they're either positive consequences or negative consequences, but either way, there is a reaction for every action. It's fun. Now I'm getting in physics, and I stink at physics. All right, so the last step is write one step that you'll take in the next 24 hours. This is your very first trail marker. So say like, I want to be fit and full of vitality by the end of this year. Then what is one thing you need to do? Why is, man, I want to live a really long life, and I know that I'm going to be, for me, I'm going to be hiking trails in my 80s, and I'm going to be walking well because I'm going to keep moving. Like I am determined to be healthy into my elderly age and beyond. Like I'm going for vitality, because if you don't have vitality, you really don't have anything. If you don't have your health, that impacts everything and slows you down. And so my why is I really want to show up fully in my life. Like show up fully for all of my clients, for all of you, for my kids, for my family. I want to fully show up. So what's one step? Man, one step could be simply with the gym. It could be, I'm going to drive past the gym. I'm too freaked out, but I'm actually going to drive past the gym today. It can be that small if it needs to be. And then maybe your next step is, I'm actually going to walk in there and get a tour. And then maybe the next day is, I'm going to set out some gym clothes and put them on and drive past again. And then maybe the next day I'm going to actually sign up. And then maybe the next day I'm actually going to just go and walk on the treadmill for just 10 minutes. And you see, by the end of a year doing one small action every day in that area, you would be shocked at how much you can actually accomplish. Those little steps, they will catch up to you. And you'll look back at your year and go, oh my gosh, look who I've become. Look what I've done. It's absolutely amazing. So there you go. You've just taken a step on your new trail. You've stopped managing your time and you've started to master your focus. That's a difference. For me, I'll do a whole capture list 10 miles long, and then I'll look at them and I'm like, and this will come in the next week, but you want to pick your top 3 things to do this week, because 20% will give you 80%. And I'll explain that more later. So we're going to send you to breakout rooms, not for very long today, but we are going to be shifting from time management to focus mastery. So here's a couple of questions you can ask with your, I actually wrote them down. Let me grab them. Now remember, we're using a metaphor here, and this will actually help your nervous system get it. Use hiking language. I challenge you to use hiking language inside of your conversations today. Amber, could you make the breakout groups? I actually remembered. Yeah. Use a hiking language. What is your summit? What is your desired outcome? Your desired outcome is your mountain summit. And your why is so important. Why do you want to make that? Oh man, it could be so many reasons. And then what is just that first trail marker you need to get to? All right, everybody got it? You ready? Ready?